Hi, my name is Anthony Yeo, and I'm the chef owner of Summerhill. And today we're going to be cooking a healthy, dairy-free mushroom soup. So this soup is really creamy, but it has no cream or dairy in it. What we use is almond milk instead to add that texture to it. And we're going to be using button mushrooms in this recipe, but you could use any other type of mushroom like shiitake mushrooms or oyster mushrooms. So the ingredients we're using in this dish, we've got button mushrooms, we've got a little bit of light olive oil, diced onion, minced garlic, a little bit of vegetable stock, some plain flour, and almond milk. And this is unsweetened almond milk. Okay, so we're gonna add the olive oil to the pan over a medium heat, and just until the butter melts. Then we throw in the onions. And then with the onions, throw in a pinch of salt, and that's gonna help the onions to cook and caramelize. And you don't want the onions to brown, you just want them to get nice and translucent, and that will bring out the sweetness in the onions. Okay, so if you're worried about the onions burning, if it seems like your pan is too hot, all you can do is just add a bit of water to it. Splash like a tablespoon in. And I'll just take the temperature down from the pan and then continue cooking it. Now, once the onions are cooked, we're going to add the garlic. We don't add the garlic first because you don't want the garlic to burn while the onions are cooking. And then now I'm going to add in some flour. So the flour is to thicken up your soup later on. Let's fry that up. Then we're going to add the mushrooms. So just cook the mixture, stirring pretty often until you see the mushrooms start to get really deeply browned and most of the moisture has started to evaporate. That's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. So once you add the mushrooms in, what you might want to do is add a little bit of water into the pot. This is because mushrooms are like a sponge. So what happens is they're going to soak up whatever liquid is in the pot, including the oils. And that's going to cause the mushrooms to burn eventually. So you want a bit of liquid in there just to help the mushrooms cook. And later on, as the mushrooms start to break down and all the cells in the mushroom break down, they're going to release the oils and all the liquid back into the soup. And now let's add the vegetable stock and the almond milk. And we just give that a good stir, and we leave that to simmer for 15 minutes. So just let the soup reduce now and simmer, and that's going to work the flavor out and break down the mushrooms, because the mushrooms have a lot of flavor locked inside them and you want to release all that into the soup. If it looks like it's getting too dry, all you need to do is add a bit more water. Okay, so the soup's already simmered and we're just going to season now. The reason I haven't seasoned it earlier, we only added a bit of salt to the onions to help it cook, was because you always want to try to taste towards the end. Especially with stocks, you don't know how salty the stock you're using is if you're buying stock from a packet. So always season at the end. We'll just give it a taste first. So that needs like a little bit of salt. And you can always add more later, but you can't take out salt. So just enough. And then we're just going to add a bit of pepper now. Ready to serve. So now that the soup is cooked, it's thickened up and nice and creamy. You can either serve it this way for a little more rustic presentation, or you can blend it up if you like it really smooth and creamy. And we're just going to sprinkle a little bit of chopped parsley over the top, and it's ready to serve. Okay, so this is our finished soup. And this is straight from the pot, so it's like a really nice one-pot soup. If you want to get like a more traditional cream of mushroom soup, you could also blend it all up and that'll give you a nice thicker texture. But it's great as it is like this.